Welcome, first of all, Nikki, welcome to Q99.7. I'm Jade, and we are so excited to have you. You already know that we've been playing you every single hour on the radio, and it's such a feel-good vibe. So, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling so good, and thank you so much. I appreciate you guys playing it. Yeah, I'm feeling good. Like things are going well right now, and mentally, I'm up here, and that's always a good thing to be. So, yeah, everything's just been like a wonderful time lately.
Absolutely. Okay, so I don't know if you maybe had like a different personal accounts before music has really been popping off here lately, but I did see that maybe your accounts are fairly new. Did you go by another artist name before you were Nicky Youre?
Well, I before Nicky Youre, I was making music with one of my friends. I only had one other producer, and he was kind of doing everything. So he released it under his name,
Okay.
and I put my name as just Nick. It was Nicky at the time. It was just Nicky. So that's maybe what you've heard. Have you heard those?
Well, actually, I was watching some of your other videos, and I had seen that you mentioned that you were like, well, you had kind of mentioned just like coming into this name, you're like, well, it was under this name. So I was like,
Yeah.
does he have another alias out there?
Yeah.
But I know that your sister helped you come up with putting your in the way that you spell it now, because it definitely grabbed my attention when I saw your music coming into rotation. Just describe to me like that day. I know you've broken down before
Yeah.
how you guys put it together, because it is part of your last name, but more easy for people to announce and just to grasp it when they see it. So what was that conversation with your sister like when you guys are like, okay, so what are we gonna do? Like, help me out here. How were you guys bouncing those ideas back and forth?
Well, my sister actually made her Instagram name changed. My real last name is Youre. She changed it to Youre, Youre, a couple years before I released any music, and I always was like, why'd she do that? And then I asked her one day, and she was like, oh, it's so we can pronounce it way easier because everyone always pronounces it like Yuri or like or like I don't know. They think I'm super German, and like never close. And so when I was thinking of music names, like I was just bouncing off terrible ideas for a while. One of them was Roy Corder because of like corduroy.
Yes.
And I was just gonna wear corduroy all the time, like pink sweats, just wears like pink sweats all the time.
I
And
love it. That still would have been cute.
I'm really glad I didn't do that. But um, that was one idea. And I was just like, all right, this doesn't feel like true to me at all. Like Nicky, I've always gone by Nicky as a kid and like throughout college, I've tried changing it to Nick and just never changed. And I was like, Nicky is like such a good name for me. I'm just gonna stick with that. And like couldn't think of a last name. And I was just like, let's just do my sister's Instagram handle. And that's what it turned into. And I'm
Yeah,
glad.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Dope. Okay, so obviously we know Sunroof is a huge soundtrack to the summer, but I want to know, how does it really feel to hop onto these apps and you're seeing like for on TikTok alone 7.5 million different people that have just kind of, it's taken a life of its own where people are having their own interpretations and making their own summer content, including Ed Sheeran. So how does that feel when you get to see that this song is people are making it their own and having fun, and you're just scrolling through the videos like, okay, that's cool. You guys are using it for all these different things. How does that feel?
It's sick, yeah, and I love that people use it for multiple different things. There's been like, a couple different trends with the song in the background, and it's like sick that people are so creative enough and also choose my song to be creative with to have in the background of their videos. So that's like dope to me. The first, well, one, it's just always dope to like randomly when you're not expecting it hear your song. And that happened to me for the first time, like super organically. I went into Panda Express the other day and it was just playing. And I was just like, whoa, what? Like, what is going on right now? And
So
that
funny
was,
because I was just about to ask you. I'm like, I can only imagine the rush that you feel, like that could never get old. That rush of hearing it on the radio. And I was gonna ask, have you ever been out in
yeah.
public, or have you ever driven by somebody in traffic and been like, do you feel the need to be like, this is me?
When I was in Panda, I definitely was like, because that was the first like truly organic like outing thing, like where I'm just like out and about and I hear it. And I definitely was like, I wanted to like be like, yo, like that's my song, you guys. Like, Panda, hook it up or something. I don't know. But
I love
I,
it.
I I only heard like the last 10 seconds of it and I was like, I'm just gonna embrace this moment and soak it in all for myself. And it was cool.
That is awesome. It really is a beautiful thing. That's super exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know that not too long ago, you were working full-time remotely from home at Dell Technologies, and now you're making a living off your music. And people, people that are maybe not in the industry, they think that people get lucky. They think that things happen or it was easy for them or that people have already been plugged way in, and it's never the case. Like that's never the case. Nobody gets lucky. You have to work so hard to even get to that point. So can you just tell us about the reality of the dedication that you had and your journey juggling getting out of school and still recording during your time at school, working in tech, and now having the success in music? Like what was the real dedication and your drive to get to this point?
For sure. I mean, it's definitely not as easy as even myself. Like I originally thought when Sunroof started going, like things were just going to get so much easier. Like I can just make music whenever I want. And like, to an extent that's the case, but if you really want to like, be successful and like keep doing things, like I've probably made like 200 videos to just Sunroof on TikTok. And like, I know it's annoying to the people that keep seeing it, but it always is showing new people. And so it's like, it is really mentally tough. And especially when you have to balance other things. Like I do these radio interviews now with people. I have to go make music, 3 or 4 times a week to try and find like the next couple songs that I want to do. And those sessions can be anywhere from like 4 to like 12 hours, depending on if you like love the song. And then I'm in OC, so I have to drive to LA, which is like an hour and a half away both ways. Sometimes it's like 2 hours. So it's definitely a process. But I definitely don't want to say there's no luck. I think especially with TikTok, like there's some amount of luck. Obviously, like the song has to be there, but I think there's so many talented people on there that just never get a break. And I don't know if it's necessarily dedication or if it's luck, but there's definitely something involved that like gets someone to where they are,
Yes, perfect combination of all those things. So that's super awesome. Kind of to the point that you were just speaking about, when we look at stars in music, a lot of people, like you just went into it a little bit, but people assume when we see people on TV or we hear them on the radio, we think that they're just used to doing what they're doing. But the reality is that a lot of things that you're doing, it's the first time that you're doing them and they're so public. So how do you deal with your anxiety and your nerves when you're meeting and now performing for all of these big outlets and platforms? How do you just keep your cool and just feel like, I know everybody thinks I got this, but I'm a little nervous right now?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think my first show, which was a couple months ago now, or it's been like maybe 6 months. I was in the backstage, like 1 second away from throwing up. I was so scared. And like I got up there and like I was chilling once I got up there and everyone said I didn't seem nervous, but like the reality is like I'm nervous as hell. And I think all these other people are probably just the same. Being like a public figure or whatever, or like in front of people is not like a natural feeling at all unless you've been doing it since a kid. And I don't know, it's just like everyone, you have to like figure it out on your own. I've kind of just like somewhat gotten used to it so that I feel not super bad, but there are definitely days where like I did a meet and greet and I felt super awkward, and I just try my best to like not think about it. And like, I don't know. I think I've also like had anxiety as, in the past. And like, once I realized that like everyone is awkward and everyone feels anxiety, and just because like you didn't have a good conversation with someone doesn't make you like awkward or like a bad conversator. That's like what helped me like get over like my anxiety. And I feel like I can pretty much go up and talk to anyone now. Definitely.
And with meet and greets and things, it's like, we love artists because we relate to what they're saying. And when we feel like people are like us and they may be able to even read that in you, it does make you feel good. It's like, we know that you're genuinely enjoying the process. So that makes it even, more fun for us to be a part of the journey from the beginning. Okay, so obviously this breakout song has had so much success. Do you feel outside pressure to continue making music like this? Do you feel like, oh my gosh, this is getting so boxed in? I mean, this is getting so big that I almost feel like I might be boxed in because I feel like I have to be loyal to this sound? Or are you more so anxious to like prove to people the variety of things that you can bring?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely super excited to just get these next couple songs out. And those are gonna be what the people have shown to me that they like. So it's like, I don't want to switch it up too early because I know what's working and like people obviously like what I'm doing right now. So I have some more stuff that's going to be in that similar vibe that hopefully gives you like the same feeling of like just like fun and like feel good, like energy when you hear it. But I definitely have some like other vibes that are still like fun, but like give a new side of to me, I guess. And I think like those are like just as likable to me. And I think once I get out these couple next songs that I'll be able to experiment a little more. But like I make this stuff always. So it's not like I feel like I have to keep making this because like this is what I like to make, which I'm
definitely
thankful that that's the case.
For sure. I saw a cute comment underneath in the top comments on YouTube underneath one of your videos, and somebody was like, there's no alcohol, no baddies, you know, shaking around. Like it's just like such a feel good vibe. And I know that has to feel great as an artist when you can proudly play your music for anyone and everyone, from the kids to adults, and you know they feel good and you don't have to feel like I'm about to say something crazy on here. I'm a little shy about it. So that's a great feeling. So definitely congratulations on that. You talked a little bit about the music that's coming up, and we know that you have an EP coming out at the end of the summer. Can we get a hint on the name, or is it under wraps? And what can we expect as far as sound and the context that you're going to be talking about on the album?
Well, so yeah, it's all going to be, I don't think I have a name right now. I'm not quite there yet, but it's going to be very similar stuff. Just like all lovey-dovey, but like in their own creative ways. I think it's definitely hard to like keep making like, I know I said like I make this stuff all the time, but it's hard to like make them unique in their own way and like in a cool way. And I think that's why Sunroof worked, was because it's like another love song, but it's like now there's a sunroof involved and it's like the feeling of love, I guess. And so I'm trying to like capture that in new ways. But it's going to be similar stuff, which I'm really excited about. And then I also have a Sunroof remix coming next week with like 4 or 5 mega artists that I'm like stoked on. They were like all the nicest people, the ones I've met at least so far. And I'm super excited about that, just to like have something fresh while we're getting geared up to like put out the EP.
Definitely. I definitely was going to ask you about the remix, because I'm like, the song is so big. We know it's coming. I'm sure there's been so many incredible people that you guys have entertained up to this point. And that's going to be exciting to look forward to, knowing like it's already growing so big on its own. It's going to have even more life to it when that comes out. So definitely looking forward to that. I want to ask you a couple of just summertime questions. Do you like to go to the beach or the pool? What do you prefer?
It's funny. I grew up playing water polo for 12 years. So I was always in the pool. And I also live like 5 minutes from the beach. But I was never a beach kid. I think like one time when I was a kid, like I like thought I almost drowned. I was probably held underwater for like 5 seconds. And ever since then, like I was a beach lifeguard, and even then, like I still like have like a little innate fear of the ocean, which I think is good. Like everyone should have a fear of the ocean. It's scary. But I would say pool, because like I don't know. I don't care about the beach that much. It's safer, and I get enough like beach energy from my friends and family because we live so close to it.
Yeah, I'm like, you guys live in such a beautiful place. I'm sure you feel it all the time around you. Do you prefer frozen drinks or something on the rocks?
Oh, I'm a sucker for frozen drinks. I just went to Cabo, and I think I had like 40 pina coladas over the week. I love pina coladas and margaritas.
Me too. That is my go-to after, and Cabo is so cool. I love that. Okay, so what are a few like key sounds or smells or tastes that just make you think of summer?
I think like sunscreen for sure, and maybe like lemons.
Okay.
I don't know if that really makes sense, but like I get that vibe. I do have like my favorite smell is pickles. It doesn't remind me of summer at all, but that's what this question reminded me of. And the funny thing with that is I don't even like pickles. I try to eat them every time, and I just like still don't like them, but I love the smell of them for some reason.
That is so funny. That is so interesting. I love that.
Kind of random.
Okay. What was a part of your childhood summers that you recognize now just as a privilege or experience? Or did you ever go to any summer camps? And if so, what kind of camps were they?
I think like the main things that I would do over summer, water polo was definitely like my thing for my whole from like 9 to 21 was like I mean music was my thing like once I hit 16, 17, that was like my second thing, but water polo was like my main focus. So like we did a lot of traveling for sports and things like that. Um, but I definitely like have taken for granted like living so close to the beach my whole life. And I had a friend that's from like, I don't know, somewhere like I think he's from Colorado where like there aren't any beaches near him. And so he came and he's like, dude, like we have to see the beach. And I'm like, okay, like I guess, you know, and I wish like maybe I was a little more thankful for that because it's like it is such a beautiful area and I should realize that a little more sometimes.
Definitely. That's awesome. Okay. Now maybe a little more personal question. Have you ever had, you know, sometimes summertime just feels so good. We're all feeling free. You meet new people, you're hanging out at new places or going to parties and this and that. Have you ever had like a cute little summertime romance experience that was like short-lived, but it just felt magical?
Um, well, I currently have a girlfriend right now.
Oh,
So
okay. So
yeah, so
this.
we had, yeah, I can't, you know, I'm not gonna say too much, but I definitely had those, of course, in college and such. But that's how me and my girlfriend met was when she was here for, or like when we like really like started becoming something. She was here for 4th of July, and I thought it was gonna be super short lived. And she lived in Arizona, and I was like, okay, this girl's sick. Like, I gotta give it more of like a chance than just like this short little week that she was here for. And now we're dating for a year in next month. So
That's
it's
exciting. Well, that's a great summertime love story.
it's pretty good.
Well, we're so excited to have had you, of course, and we cannot wait to hear the remix. I'm really excited. My mind is already going through so many people it could be. So I can't wait for all of us to find out together. And from what it sounds like, there's going to be multiple people on there.
Yeah, there's a little flavor for each genre. So there's like a country guy, a little rap guy, some other stuff. So it should be cool. I'm really excited. They all sound great, so that'll be cool, and I can't wait for you guys to hear it.
Very exciting. Okay, well, we're looking forward to it. Can't wait to hear your EP as well. And again, thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jade. I appreciate you guys playing it, and thanks for chatting with me today.
Of course. All
Alrighty.
righty. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And best of luck to you in
Sure.
all things. We're rooting for you, and we can't wait to see you turn up in Atlanta. Okay.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Bye.
Have a good one. Bye bye.
You too.